Hey guys, TLS here inside Guild Wars 2. It is the final beta weekend for Heart of Thorns, and I am looking through all of the new changes that are coming to the professions in Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns. However, in this video I'm looking at something that is completely new, and that is the Revenant. I'll be looking at the elite specialization of the Revenant in this video. I've already looked at the Revenant's utilities and weapon abilities, and this video will be looking specifically at the elite specialization. Now, even though the Revenant is brand new, it is getting an elite specialization just like all of the other professions are getting an elite specialization. Now, the elite specialization for the Revenant is the Herald, and just like all the others, it adds something new to the profession. It gives you access to a new weapon or offhand, and it also gives you access to new utility skills. So I'm going to go through all of that. Just looking at the talent tree right here, at the beginning of the talent tree, it always describes what you're basically getting with the elite specialization. So you can see you can equip it right here. I'm a Herald. The very first talent will tell you what you get. And in this case, we get the Crystal Harbinger, which you can now equip as shield. So a shield is the new weapon or offhand you can get by choosing the Herald. You can now equip a shield, use the legendary Dragon Stance skills, and gain access to Facet of Nature. So we're going to take a look at this here. The last thing that they talked about in the entire changes there is Facet of Nature. It's right here. It's your F2 ability. This does not appear if you're not in Harbinger, and it is the legendary dragon. Place a Facet of Nature on yourself to grant nearby allies naturalistic resonance every few seconds to increase outgoing boon duration. So you pulse naturalistic resonance to nearby allies every few seconds and increases outgoing boon duration by 50%. So you can see I can use it right there, and that's what happens. Now, this does turn into one with nature. Consume the Facet of Nature to unify with the other facets, gaining the boons they apply. Facet of Nature will be disabled while this skill is recharging. You can see everything that it provides there. Fury, Might, Regen, Protection, Swiftness. So use it right there, and then I gain all of them right there. So it's pretty cool. That is what you gain by choosing a Herald in Heart of Thorns if you're a Revenant and you decide to go with the Herald Elite Specialization. Now, the new weapon skill is going to be dealing with a shield. I already have the shield equipped, so we're going to look at the two new abilities that are given if you decide to choose Herald. The first is going to be Envoy of Exuberance. Send the energy of Glint toward the target area, granting protection to allies before releasing a burst of energy that heals allies, granting protection again when it returns to you. So we're going to see it's got a little AoE ground targeted like this, and we'll fire it off, and then it comes back. Gives me protection. So you fire it forward, and then it comes back, gives you protection. The other ability here is Crystal Hibernation. Channel a shield from the mist to protect you, blocking attacks and regenerating health. Pulses 4 times. So we'll go ahead and use this here. Very simple graphic effect. Basically, the shield is built into healing and so forth. So that is the extra 2 abilities that you'll gain if you decide to use a shield while in the Herald Elite Specialization. Now, in the Herald Elite Specialization, you are given access to the Dragon Stance. In the other videos, we talked about the stances, how they change, and we've already looked at the weapon skills. So in this, we'll describe how the Dragon Stance is different, and I'm going to switch to it right now. You can see what happens. You can see the Dragon Stance up there, and we'll go through each one of these abilities. The first is going to be Facet of Light. You place a Facet of Light on yourself to grant nearby allies regeneration every few seconds. So you go ahead and use it, granting regeneration, and then you can consume that facet to heal yourself and invert all incoming strikes to healing for a short duration. It is a 4-second duration on inverting all damage into healing. So that's a nice transfer of damage to healing. So if you're getting bursted, this is what you want right here. The next is going to be Facet of Darkness. Place a Facet of Darkness on yourself to grant nearby allies fury every few seconds. So once again, do it. It's a buff. You have fury constantly pulsing, and then you can use Gaze of Darkness Consume the Facet of Darkness to reveal the area around you, pulling foes out of stealth and blinding them. Right there, and there's the blind. The AoE on that, 360. Just so you guys know, because that wasn't very clear how big the AoE is on that. The next one here is going to be Facet of Elements. You place a Facet of Elements on yourself to grant nearby allies swiftness every few seconds. So consume the Facet of Elementals. Well, we'll go ahead and use this right here. Facet of Elements. There you go. Granting swiftness. I see swiftness pulsing on me. And then consume Facet of Elements to cover the target area in magical dragon breath. Pulsing burning, chilled, and weakness. So we'll go ahead and use this right here. Right there. On the dragon. Deals damage over time. That's actually a significant amount of damage for that one little ability. So it's pretty good. Last one here is Facet of Strength. Place a Facet of Strength on yourself to grant nearby allies might every few seconds. So this is basically, we're going to get might every time.
Strong.
And then the last part of it is Burst of Strength. Consume the Facet of Strength, damaging nearby foes and causing vulnerability. Facet of Strength will be disabled while his skill is recharging. So go ahead and use this here. We'll come up here and get the damage on it. Right now we're pulsing might, and then we'll use the Facet right there. So that is exactly the four main facets that you get. The last here is going to be the Facet of Chaos. Place a Facet of Chaos on yourself to grant nearby allies protection every few seconds. So there we're pulsing protection. And then you can consume this, Chaotic Release. Consume Facet of Chaos, releasing chaotic winds, damaging and knocking back foes while granting super speed to allies. Facet of Chaos will be disabled while this skill is recharging. So we'll go ahead and use it right here. There you can see right there. Big knockback. Pretty cool. But that is everything for, you know, at least the utility and weapons that you get when you are in the Herald Elite Specialization for the Revenant. Now, I'm going to take a look at the talent tree right here. We already know the first one, Crystal Harbinger, and what it brings. So the first tree here, we have Swift Gale. You gain super speed when you successfully break a stun. The second is going to be Radiant Revival. Place infused light on an ally when you revive them. So remember, infused light inverts all incoming damage into healing. It's very much like one of the facets. I can't remember. It's this one right here, the healing facet. Very useful. The third one here is going to be Hardening Persistence. Gain toughness for each point of upkeep you are currently using. So Hardening Persistence, 40 toughness right there. The second is Vigorous Persistence. Gain increased endurance regeneration while you have an active upkeep skill. So there we go. That brings us to the second tree. The first is Bolster Fortification. Gain protection to nearby allies when using a healing skill. The second is Shared Empowerment. When you apply a boon to an ally, also apply might to nearby allies. So that'll come in handy when we're doing something like Facet of Strength, where you're pulsing out might. And then the last is Harmonized Continuity. When you successfully stun break, you will also stun break nearby allies. So that's a 600-yard radius on that, which is pretty nice to have. So the third minor is going to be Increased Boon Duration. So a lot of the Dragon Stands has to deal with a lot of boons you give out and increasing their duration. That's one of the greatest things about, you know, this Dragon's Dance. In the last tree we have Elder's Force. Increased damage per boon on you. So once again, dealing with the effect of boons. You have Soothing Bastion. Activate Crystal Hibernation when struck when you are below the health threshold. Using a shield skill increases the boon duration. And Crystal Hibernation, I believe, was number 5 ability. Yes, it's the number 5 ability right here for the shield. The last one here is Enhanced Bulwark. When stability is applied to you, gain an extra stack. So that is something that is nice to be able to use. This is something that you could use in some of the other stances that grant more stability. This will fuse well with that. But those are the talents for the Elite Specialization of the Herald. You are dealing with a lot of boons in this, trying to keep boons on yourself and allies to increase your damage to as maximum as possible. Your shields give you healing. It's more of a support type part of the Revenant than a damage type of a Revenant. So, that is everything with the Herald Revenant Elite Specialization in Guild Wars 2. It's fun. Revenant as a whole is fun, but this makes things even more interesting, opens up the kit for Revenant even more so than it has already. So, pretty cool there. I hope to see plenty of Revenants out there. Hopefully not too much, but I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers out.